Hello everybody, welcome back to American Textbook Reading. I'm Brian Stuart. Well, we're continuing in our textbook. We're on Lesson 5. And in Lesson 5, we're talking about what can citizens do? What can citizens do? Of course, we are all citizens of our country. Now, in this unit, we will discover all citizens have rights and responsibilities. So we're going to be talking about two main things in this unit, right? We're talking about what are our rights, what are our rights as citizens, and two, what are our responsibilities? What are our responsibilities as citizens? And remember, we are all citizens. When we are part of a country, right? If you are a citizen of Korea, or you are a citizen of America, or you are a citizen of some country, or just a member of society, everybody has rights and responsibilities that we enjoy and that we should follow. Okay, so first of all, what is a right? When we talk about people having rights and responsibilities, we have to think about what is a right. A right is something that you can do or have by law. And it's important to note this word here, have. We usually use the word have with right. So, for example, have rights. Now, rights can be plural, rights with an S, or you can also say it in a singular way. You have a right. Have a right to do something. So, I have rights, or I have a right to do something. And we usually use this type of sentence, especially when somebody's trying to prevent us from doing something. Say, you can't do that. No, I can do it. I have rights, or I have a right to do something. I have a right to be here. I have a right to say what's on my mind. I have a right, or I have rights. We usually use the word have with rights. Now, right, something that you can do or have by law. That's important right there, by law. Your society, and if most of us, we live in a democratic society. Most people in the world, thankfully, live in a democratic society. Some people don't. Some people don't have all the rights that we have because their society does not have the laws that protect their rights or that gives them rights, right? We enjoy a lot of rights in a democratic society by law. Our democratic society, our democratic government makes laws that give us a lot of rights to be able to do something. So these are rights, okay? But what about responsibilities? Responsibility, that's a long word, responsibility. Now again, responsibility can be singular, it can also be plural. We have many responsibilities, right? So we have a responsibility or we have responsibilities. Again, you can use the word have. I have a responsibility to do something. Responsibility means taking care of something and taking the blame if it goes wrong. That's interesting. Let's talk about it. By the way, taking care of something, it can also be taking care of someone, something, or someone. For example, look at this picture. Here we have father, mother, and two boys, right? The parents have a responsibility to take care of their children. That would be someone. So take care of something or someone, right? You have a responsibility to take care of your things. For example, your school books, your clothes. You shouldn't go out and destroy your clothes. Your mom will be very angry. You have a responsibility to take care of your things. Your parents have a responsibility to take care of you. Also, part of being responsible means taking the blame if it goes wrong. So if you do go out and you ruin your book, right? You go out and you drop your book in a muddy puddle and it gets all wet because you made a mistake. You should admit it. Don't lie. Say somebody stole your book, right? Be responsible. Be responsible. Do not lie. Be responsible. Whoops, this pen. Be responsible. Be responsible. Take responsibility. That's another one. Take responsibility. Whew, it's a long word. So you should be responsible. You should take responsibility. That means you should admit when something goes wrong. When you make a mistake, be responsible. Take responsibility. Admit that you made a mistake. That's part of being responsible. That's part of your responsibility. So responsibility is kind of like a duty, something that you should do. So right is something that you can do. Responsibility is something that you should do. Okay, so those are rights and responsibilities. Let's take a look at the next one. Choose. Choose is an important word when we talk about rights and responsibilities. Choose means to pick something, to choose something or someone from among others. So if this boy has a choice, right? He has a choice. Again, we use have a choice, have responsibility, have a right, have a choice. This boy has a choice to make. He can choose the vegetables, or he can choose the sandwich with the cheese and the meat and everything else. Now, he's going to choose this one, right? Because it tastes better. This one is probably healthier for him, but he's going to choose the sandwich because it tastes better. Now, it's his responsibility to choose the right thing. It's his responsibility to choose things that are good for him. Maybe some choices that we make are not fun, right? It's more fun to eat a sandwich than it is to eat a plate of vegetables. However, which is better for you? It's better to eat the vegetables. These are choices. That's just a small example of choices that we make every day, right? We have the right to choose what we want, but we also have the responsibility to choose what's best for us and the people around us. That's a very important idea to remember, and that's an important concept to think of when we think about rights and responsibilities. We have the right to choose whatever we want, but we have the responsibility to make good choices for ourselves and for other people. It's an interesting idea. Okay. Respect. When we're talking about rights and responsibilities, of course, we're talking about our rights, our responsibilities, but we also have to think about people around us. What are their rights? What are our responsibilities to other people? And part of that is showing respect to other people. You show respect to somebody. Show respect to other people. Show respect to your parents. Show respect to your teachers. Show respect to your friends. That means polite behavior toward someone. You should be polite. You shouldn't be rude. Of course, polite and rude are opposite, right? The opposite of polite is rude. Whoops, rude. D. R-U-D-E. Sorry, I messed that up there. I'll spell it again. R-U-D-E. Rude. The opposite of polite is rude. If you're rude, it means you're behaving badly towards somebody, especially when you think about sports. If you're playing soccer, right, you should be polite to other people who you are playing soccer with, on your team and on the other team. You shouldn't kick the other team members, right? That would be rude. If you accidentally kick another person while you're playing soccer, you should be polite. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kick you. Are you all right? That's part of showing respect. That's part of being polite to other people. Okay? So you should show respect to other people. And that's part of being polite to other people. Okay. Duty. Duty has to do with responsibility, right? We all have duties in our life. We have duties to do things. Something that you must do, that you must do. What is this person doing here? They are voting. Vote. Now, you are probably too young to vote, but when you get older, it's your duty to vote. Every citizen has a duty to vote. Right now, what are some of your duties now? Some of your duties are to obey your parents, to obey your teachers, to study hard. These are things that you must do. It's your duty to take care of your health. It's your duty to take care of the things that you have, to clean your room, to help your family. These are duties that you have These are responsibilities that you have. Duty and responsibility are very similar. They're almost the same, right? We have responsibilities, we have duties. Things we must do, or things we should do. Okay. Act. We talk about act. Act is anything that you do. But in another way, act is, it says to do something, but it's also everything that you do. It's also how you behave. Act is very similar also to, how you behave. In other words, you can say, act responsibly in your daily life. Throughout the whole day, you should act responsibly. I'm having problems. Okay, act responsibly. That means act in a responsible way. Do things correctly. Do your duty, right? Do things that are your duty. Do things that are your responsibility. Show respect to other people. These are all parts of acting responsibly. Do the things that you're supposed to do. If something goes wrong, take the blame. If it's your fault, take the blame for it. If it's not your fault, don't take the blame. But if it is your fault, don't lie, be honest, act responsibly, take the blame for it if it's your fault. So act responsibly, behave in a certain way. So act is very similar to behave. How do you behave? Do you behave well or do you behave poorly? It's the same thing as do you act well or do you act poorly? How do you behave? Okay? Okay, and we should behave responsibly. Okay, let's move on. Here we have express. Now express means to tell others your ideas using words, gestures, or behavior. So when you express yourself, you're expressing yourself on many different levels. One level is by what you say. That's one level, okay? You're expressing your ideas, what you're thinking. But you can also express yourself using gestures, right? If you use gestures, we can talk with our hands, but some gestures you can also express yourself. If you go like this is one gesture showing something. If you go like this, that's another gesture showing something. So the gestures, your body language also expresses what you're thinking. Okay, so gestures also. And finally, we also have behavior. How do you act? If you act rudely towards somebody, you're expressing yourself. You're telling other people that you're not a nice person. If you behave politely, right? If your behavior is polite, then you're expressing to other people that you are a nice person. So we express ourselves on many different levels by our words, by our gestures, and how we behave. These are all ways that we express ourselves to other people. So that's very interesting. Think about that. It's not just what you say, it's how you act and how you use gestures also. These are all ways to express yourself. Okay. Finally, we have idea. Idea, you express ideas, of course. I just said that you use words to express your ideas, but what is an idea? An idea is a thought about something. So especially when you're studying at school, right? Your teacher is teaching you something, well, you have certain ideas about that subject, and you may have unique or original ideas. You might, oh, that's a good idea. You think about something, right? Let's take a look at this video here. Now, of course, this is not happening in your head. There are no gears in your head, right? But this is an interesting idea to show that when you're thinking about something, it's like these gears are spinning in your head. Your brain is working, right, really hard, and it's like there's a lot of motion, a lot of gears going around in your head, and you're thinking of something, and ooh, you have an idea, right? You get an idea. Get an idea. Whoops. You get an idea. You get an idea because your brain is working very hard and you get ideas. Okay, well, let's take a look at a chart here. Now, this is interesting. We've talked about rights. We talked about responsibilities. Let's look at some examples of those. Over here on the left side, we have rights, and over here on the right side, we have responsibilities. Let's take a look at them. Over here, we have rights. we have the right to act freely. Now this is kind of dangerous what this guy's doing, but he has the right to act with freedom. He has the freedom to act the way that he wants to act. That is acting freely. That is our right in a democratic society. We can act the way that we want to. We have the freedom to act freely. We also have the right to express our ideas. So if you're in a group, right, and you're talking about something, you have an idea, you have the right to stand up and talk and tell other people what your idea is. Now there's many ways to express your ideas. You can talk to a group of people in a room. You can write something on the internet, in a blog or in comments sections, right? You can do many things to express your ideas to other people. You have that right in a democratic society. In a democratic society, also we have the right to choose leaders. So in Korea, in America, in many other countries of the world, many people go out to vote and they choose their leaders, their national leader or their local leaders. That is our right as citizens in democratic countries. So those are our rights, but what about our responsibilities, right? What are things that we should do? Well, one of our responsibilities is making laws, okay? Now this is a video. Don't worry about the traffic. What we're looking at here, of course, is this building back here. This is in Washington, D.C. in America. This is the Capitol building. Inside this building is where congressmen and senators will go and they will make laws for the nation. Of course, in Korea, you have a similar building where lawmakers will go and make laws. We have the responsibility to elect our leaders, we have the right to choose our leaders, but it's also a responsibility. It's not just a right, it's a responsibility, and they go and they make laws, right? Part of being a participant in a democratic society is to participate in the making of laws. We choose the leaders who will make laws for us. And we can also make laws ourselves if we sign petitions and try to get our leaders to enact certain laws for our community. So that's one of our responsibilities. Another responsibility that we can all do, and we should all do every day, is to follow the laws. Follow the laws. Let's take a look at an example of this. This is a busy city street. As we can see, okay, people are crossing the street when it's green. When it's red, people stop. See how dangerous, now this is very fast, right? This video is very sped up. It looks dangerous, but it's not. Just slow down the video. But you can see the cars are going by really quickly, but they stop, of course, when the light is green. People can walk. You should not cross the street when the light is red. That is dangerous. You will not be following the laws. Follow the law, because why? Because the law keeps us safe. Laws keep us safe. It's our responsibility to follow the law. Not only does it keep us safe, it keeps everybody happy. If you cross the street, you're putting yourself in danger, but you're also putting the person in the car in danger, and also you're making them very unhappy if they hit you. They don't want to hit you, right? Of course, they may not be hurt, but they're going to be very upset if they hit you, especially if you cross when it's a red light. So following the laws is helpful for everybody to be safe and to be happy and to feel that everything is good in their life. Everything is going correctly. It's not out of order, for example. So following laws keep us safe. Okay, and now we've come to our chart. We see our chart is showing rights and responsibilities. So over here on the left side, we have what our rights are. We have examples. We also have on our right side what our responsibilities are. So we have rights and responsibilities in society. What is one of our rights? Our right, of course, one of our rights is to act freely. It means we can act freely. We have the freedom to do what we want to do. This is a little bit dangerous, though. Don't do that, right? Jump from one cliff to another. That's a little bit dangerous, but he has the right to do that if he wants to. You have the right to go run around in the park. You have the right to play the way that you want to. You have the right to act freely. You have the right to do what you want to do and to enjoy yourself. We also have the right to express our ideas. We talked about express and we talked about ideas. If we have an idea, right, a thought in our head, our brains are working really hard like we saw on the video, well, we come up with a new idea, we have the right to tell other people about our idea. There's many ways to express your ideas. In this picture, this man has stood up and he's telling a group of people in a room what his idea is. Of course, you can also write on the internet what your idea is. You can have your own blog, or you can write on the comments section of many things. You can publish your ideas. There's many different ways to express your ideas. That's one of our rights. Another one of our rights is to choose a leader. Now, in this picture, of course, we can see U.S. President Barack Obama, right? And he is campaigning for people to vote for him. People vote for their leaders. They have the right to choose the people they want to represent them in government. We have the right to choose our leaders who will do things in the government to help all of us. Okay? Okay, as we can see in this video, and this is U.S. President Barack Obama again, and he is here in an event, at an event that he wants people to vote for him so that they will choose him as their leader. These, of course, are all the people who support him. They like him. They like his ideas. And of course, this is an event where these people are supporting. They want to choose they want to choose Barack Obama as their president. Of course, there are other events going on at the same time. Other people have different ideas. They want to be president too, and they have other supporters. So of course, in a democratic society, you have many groups of people who want to choose their own leader. These people want to choose Barack Obama, right? Another group might want to choose somebody else to be their leader. We have the right to choose who we want to be as our leader. Let's move on. Now, those are our rights, okay? Those are our rights, to act freely, to express our ideas, and to choose our leaders. What about responsibilities? Over here, we have responsibilities. One of our responsibilities is to make laws. Of course, we don't make laws, but we elect, when we choose leaders, we elect people, not just presidents, but also people in Congress who make the laws for us. So really, choosing the leader is our right, but it's also our responsibility because those people will make laws. Now, this picture here is showing the Capitol building. This is the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. This is where many leaders, congressmen, will gather and they will make laws for America. Of course, you have a similar building in your own country where people will get together, the Congress or the Parliament, the members will get together and they will make laws for the society. That's their responsibility. Another responsibility that we all have that's very important is to follow the law. You see these people waiting to cross the street, they're not going to cross the street yet because the light is red, right? We can see a very fast video. If you look at this video, it's going very fast, really fast, right? Okay. It looks dangerous, but remember, the video is sped up. It's very fast, so we should slow it down in real life. But look at the people. See, they're waiting until the light turns to green. Then they cross. When it's red, they stop. It's very important that they follow the law. That is the law. Do not cross the street when the light is red. Cross the street when the light is green. That's the law. It's our responsibility to follow the law. Why? Because if you cross the street when it's red, you see this car is going through the intersection. If you cross the street when it's red, that's dangerous. It's our responsibility to follow the law because it keeps us safe. It also keeps people happy. The people in the car, they don't want to hit you. But if you cross the street when it's red and they hit you, they're safe, but they're not happy. They don't want to hit you. Now they're very upset and they're very worried about you. So it's very important. Protect your own safety. Keep other people happy. Follow the laws. That is one of our responsibilities. Absolutely. And then finally, we have showing respect for others is another responsibility that we have in society. We should show respect for other people. In this case, they're shaking hands. That's what Western people do, especially business people, when they show respect for each other. Or if you meet somebody for the first time, it's a sign of respect to shake their hand. Of course, in the East, in Asia, people bow to each other, and that's another way to show respect for each other. Okay, let's move on to our exercise. We're going to match the words to the meanings. Our words are right, responsibility, responsibility, choose, respect, respect, duty, duty, and act. That's easy, act. Okay, let's match these words to their definitions. Number one, something that you must do. It's something that you must do. Think about it. What is during your life, during your daily life, you have things that you must do. You must clean your room. You must obey your parents. You must listen to your teachers. You must study hard. What are these? These, of course, are your duties. Something that you must do, that's your duty. Okay, those are things that you must do, things that you must do. Number two, to do something, remember that's a very open word, right? To do anything. It also means to act in a certain way, right? You can act or you can do something that is polite. You can do something that is rude. Of course, I just gave you the answer. I said act, right? You can act in a certain way. If you do something, whatever you do, you are acting. During the day, you are acting in a certain way because you're doing many things. How do you do those things? That is how you act. You should act responsibly. You should act politely. Don't be rude. Don't act in a rude way. Act in a polite way. Do things responsibly. Okay, number three, polite behavior towards someone. If you have polite behavior towards someone, you are showing them something. What are you showing somebody if you shake their hand or you bow to them or you listen to them or you are polite to them? What are you doing? You are showing respect. You are having polite behavior towards someone. You are being polite towards someone. And that is a way to show respect. Respect is polite behavior towards someone. Okay, number four. Something that you can do. Something that you can do, you can do it. Or you have it. Why? Because of law. We talked about that, right? These are things that you can do. These are things that you have because of law. They are, of course, rights. So you have a right or you have rights. Things that you can do, I have the right to express myself. I have the right to choose my leader. Why? Because the law says so. The law gives me those rights. Number five, to pick something or someone from among others. So you have many different things that you can, what? You can choose from. So to pick something or someone, you have many possibilities, many choices. You choose one of those things, right? Remember, when you choose something, choose responsibly. Choose well. Number six, taking care of something and taking the blame if it goes wrong. So when we take care of things or people, we take care of other people too. And if something happens, if we make a mistake, we take the blame for it. We admit our mistake. That is part of what? Responsibility. It's our responsibility to take care of things, to take care of what we have, to take care of other people. Some of you may have a responsibility to take care of your younger brother or sister. That's a responsibility. If you go out together, you should take care of that person. That's your responsibility. If something goes wrong, you take the blame for it. You admit your mistake. You say, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Don't lie, right? Be honest. Okay, let's move on. We have our chart here. How to show respect. We talked about respect a little bit, right? We said respect is polite behavior towards someone. There's different ways that we can show respect. One way we can show respect to our teachers, and not just our teachers, but also our fellow classmates. is to listen to our teachers, right? If I'm talking to my friend in class, the other classmates behind me, they can't hear the teacher. That's not respectful to the people behind me, and it's not respectful to the teacher. So listen to your teachers. That's showing respect to everybody, not just the teacher, but also your friends in the classroom. Another way to show respect is to follow the rules. You see this boy, he has some trash, a piece of paper. He's putting it in the proper place, in the trash can, because that's the rule, right? The rule is don't litter. Don't litter. That means don't throw your trash, litter, T-T-E-R, don't throw your trash on the ground. Put it in the trash can. So follow the rules. Don't cross the street on a red light, right? Cross the street on a green light. Following rules, following laws. That's showing respect. Helping other people. So if you help other people, you work together. That's a very good way to show respect to other people. You help out each other, right? Whether it's your friend, if it's somebody older than you, if it's somebody who needs your help, you help them out. That's showing respect to other people. Okay, so these are different ways to show respect. Look at the pictures and write the words that best describes them. These are all different ways to show something, right? Let's take a look. Over here we have a bus. An adult person is helping the kids get on the bus. Now, do the kids all run to the bus and try to fight each other to get on the bus? No. They're in a line. They're lined up. They're getting on the bus one by one in an orderly way, in a very polite way. They're being polite to each other, right? So they are listening to the adult supervisor, maybe the teacher. They're listening to that person, and they're getting on the bus in a polite way. They're doing something there. Okay, here we have two people from Asia, and they are bowing to each other. Remember, in the West, people shake hands. It's another way to show something here. Over here, look at this. This younger girl is helping an older lady, maybe to cross the street or to walk. She's helping somebody out. It's important to help people who are older. And what's going on in these pictures? These people are showing something, these people are showing something, and these people are showing something. They are all showing respect. How to show respect? Line up. Get on the bus or get on the subway in an orderly manner, in a polite manner. Don't fight each other to get on the subway or the bus. Show respect to each other, right? Bow to each other, shake their hands, show respect to another person. Help older people or respect older people. Respect your teachers, respect your parents. Also, help other people when you can. These are all ways of showing respect. So show respect. Okay, well, let's move on now to our true-false questions. We have 3 questions here. Circle T for true, F for false. Number 1, responsibility is polite behavior towards someone. So is responsibility polite behavior towards someone? Does that sound right? Doesn't sound right, does it? It's false. Why? Because responsibility is something, things that you should take care of. Responsibility are things or people you should take care of, and admitting blame or admitting that you're at fault, taking the blame if something goes wrong. So responsibility is not polite behavior. What is polite behavior towards someone? Respect is polite behavior. Respect. So we have to change this sentence in order to make it true. Right now it's false. If we change it, then it's true. But it's right the way it is, it's false, right? Respect is polite behavior towards someone. Number 2, your duty is what you must do. Does that sound right? You have many duties in your life. You must do these things. Yeah, that's true. Duty is what you must do. You must take care of yourself. You must take care of your things. If your mother or father tells you, take care of your younger brother or sister, that's a duty. It's something you should do. Okay? You must do. Number 3, right means, so when we're talking about rights and responsibilities, we're talking about right in this sense. Right means to do something with a purpose. Right means to do something with a purpose. Is that true? Doesn't sound right, does it? It's actually false, because right is something that you can do or have by law, right? Something that you can do or that you have by law. That's a right. Act means to do something. I would say act, but look at this. They also added something. Act means to do something. That's our definition that we learned. They added with a purpose. Well, when you do something with a purpose, usually everything that you do with a purpose. That's different ways to act. So yeah, with a purpose means for some certain goal. You have some certain goal in mind. But of course, we're all acting every day, right? We act a certain way when we play sports. We act a certain way when we're in class. It's how we act that's very important. But anyway, right doesn't mean to do something with a purpose. Act means to do something with a purpose. We have to change that sentence so it's false. Okay, that wraps it up for the vocabulary section. Let's take a short break here, and we'll take a look at the reading section next. Okay, welcome back. Let's go over the reading section together. Now here we have the reading section. Our first sentence is a very important sentence. It's our topic sentence. It says, all citizens have rights and responsibilities. That's our topic sentence. That's what this passage is about. It's talking about two things. One, rights. Two, responsibilities. All citizens, we are members of a society, members of a nation. We have two important things. One is rights, the other is responsibilities. So we have rights and responsibilities. First, notice the order. Number one is rights. So first we're going to talk about rights. Number two is responsibilities. So later we'll talk about responsibilities. That's common order. That's very good organization for a writing passage. So first we're going to talk about rights. We have the right. Remember, have the right. You have the right to express your ideas, the right to act freely. So we have the right to, one, express our ideas, and two, the right to act freely. Okay? So they're talking about two rights here. They also talk about a third one. Choosing the leaders is a third right. So when we talk about rights, we're talking about rights first. 1, 2, 3 rights. We have the right to express our ideas and the right to act freely. Choosing the leaders of our community is also a right. So right away we can see they're talking about 3 rights. 1, express our ideas. 2, act freely. And 3, choosing our leaders of our community is also a right. So we talk about 3 rights in the beginning of this reading passage. Okay, we've talked about rights, but now we see a transition into responsibilities, right? Let's go over this. We can do our part in making laws by choosing our leaders. So this can be one of our responsibilities too. Interesting. We have a couple of interesting things here. We can do our part. We can take part in something in making laws by choosing our leaders. Remember, I said before, talking about choosing leaders, it's our right, but it's also our responsibility, right? When we choose leaders, we have the right to choose who we want, but we also have a responsibility to make a choice. We shouldn't just stand back and say, I don't want to vote. It's our responsibility to vote, right? So by choosing our leaders. So this can be one of our responsibilities too. You see what happened here? We talked about going from rights, and now we're going to talk about responsibilities. So making laws is one of our responsibilities, right? Choosing our leader is a right. It's also a responsibility. But when we choose our leaders make laws. So our part, we don't make laws, but we do our part. We do our part of that by choosing our leaders, and that's how we do our part in making laws. So it's kind of like we do our part by choosing our leaders in making laws. So it's kind of all connected here, right? We do our part in making laws. We don't make the laws, but we choose the leaders who make the laws. Okay? So we do our part in making laws by choosing our leaders. So that could be one of our responsibilities that we saw before. We see other responsibilities here. Another important responsibility. So another responsibility besides making laws, We have is to follow laws and show respect for others. So another important responsibility that we have is to follow the law and also to show respect for other people. Those are other responsibilities that we have. Okay, these are the key duties of citizens. So citizens have things that they must do. They are the key duties of citizens. So remember, we can enjoy our rights, but we must do our duties at the same time. So remember, we have rights, we also have responsibilities. And as I said before, duties and responsibilities are almost the same. Responsibilities. And this one I'm going to put in plural, right? Responsibilities. We have duties, those are our responsibilities. We have rights, we have responsibilities. Duties is the same idea. We can enjoy our rights. We enjoy our rights. We have those. We can do those things. But we must do our duties as well. We also have responsibilities. Things or people we have to take care of and also to take the blame if something goes wrong. In this way, by having rights and responsibilities, we can be good citizens to make our community a better, safer, and happier place to live. So what we're saying here is that, of course, we have rights, but we also have responsibilities or duties to do. If we follow those duties, we will have a better lives. Our community, the place where we live, we work, and we play is better, it's safer, and it's happier for everyone to live in. So by doing those things, we can make our community better, safer, and happier for everybody to live in. In the example, of course, we go back to, remember, crossing the street. If you cross the street, you follow the law. That's your duty. It's your responsibility. You will be safe. You will also make the drivers very happy because they won't be worried about hitting you. Okay? So it'll be better, safer, and happier place to live for everybody. Okay, let's move on to our reading skill chart. We're talking about cause and effect here. Cause and effect is like a situation or condition, and what is the result of that situation or condition. Here we have all citizens have rights and responsibilities. We're talking about two things, rights and responsibilities. Here in our chart we can see rights are talked about here under cause. We have responsibilities here. Now we have rights and responsibilities. What is the effect of those, right? We saw in our reading passage, we can make our community a better, safer, and happier place. That is the effect, that is the result of these two conditions, these two causes. Let's take a look. We need to fill in these blanks. We have many blanks here, 5 blanks. Here are our words: leaders, respect, ideas, laws, and freely. Let's take a look at rights first. First, we have the right to. We have the right to do something. In this case, to express. What do we express? Do we express our leaders? That doesn't sound right. Do we express our respect? That sounds a little weird. Do we express our ideas? Yeah, sure. We express our ideas. We express our ideas, what we are thinking, right? Remember the video of the gears turning in the person's head? You have an idea. You have the right to express your idea, to share your idea with other people. We have the right to act. How should we act? Or when we saw that the picture of the guy jumping from one place to another, we can act very what? Freely. We can act freely. We have the freedom to act the way that we want to. And so we have the right to express our ideas, we have the right to act freely, and we have the right to choose what? Choose our leaders, right? We choose our leaders. Those are our rights, okay? We have the right to express our ideas, act freely, and choose our leaders. Now, our responsibilities, we have responsibilities to follow what? What do we follow? We follow laws, right? We have the responsibilities to follow laws and show. What do we show? Remember, that word show goes with a word down here. We show respect. Show respect for others. Okay? Responsibilities are plural because 1, follow laws. 2, show respect for other people. Those are responsibilities. Okay? It's interesting to note, remember, of course, these words that go together. Express ideas. Those words to go together. verb, noun. Express, idea. Choose leaders, follow laws, show respect, have a right. Those words go together. There's a very strong connection between those words, okay? One more time. Express ideas, choose leaders, follow laws, show respect, have rights, have responsibilities. Those words go together. Okay, so if we do these things, because we have the right to do these things and we have the responsibilities to do these things, what is the effect? We make our community better, safer, and happier. And that's basically a very good chart, organizational chart for our reading passage. First we talked about rights, then we talked about responsibilities, and we talked about what the effect of those are. It's a very good organizational chart for our reading passage. Okay, let's go over our reading comprehension questions. Number 1, everyone has the right to express what? Remember I told you guys, express, what word is associated with express? What do we express? Do we express responsibilities, ideas, or laws? We express ideas. Those two words go together. Everyone has the right to express their ideas. Express an idea. Number 2, all citizens have. Here we have. Remember that word goes with what other words? Have laws and rights. We have laws. That sounds strange. We have rights. Yeah, it goes with that. But we have laws. Yeah, we have laws, but all citizens have laws? Sounds a little weird. All citizens have responsibilities and rights. Here's rights again, so we know that goes together. Have responsibilities and rights. That's what I told you before. These words go together. We have responsibilities. We have rights. That word, that choice is correct. B. We have duties and respect. Well, we have duties. Yeah, sure, you can say we have duties. All citizens have respect. That doesn't sound correct. All citizens should show respect. Remember, show and respect go together. But we have respect, that's a little odd. It's better to use B. We have responsibilities, we have rights. Okay, let's move on to number 3. We can do our part, right? We do our part in doing something. We don't make laws, but we can do our part in making laws. How? How do we do that? A, by acting freely and following others. Do we make laws by acting freely and following others? That sounds strange. That's not correct. But do our part in making laws, choosing our citizens. Do we choose citizens? You say, oh, okay, I think you should be a citizen of this country. No, we don't do it that way. Somebody's born in the country, they're a citizen. We don't choose citizens, right? Yeah, if they're born, if they're a member of the society, they are a citizen. Now, they can choose to change citizenship, but we don't choose them. They choose for themselves. So B is not correct. C, we do our part in making laws by choosing our leaders. Sure, our leaders make laws, but we do our part by choosing our leaders. That's our part. We choose the leaders make the laws. Our part is to choose the leaders, and then the leaders make the laws. So that's our part in making laws. It's indirect. Okay, number 4. The key duties. The key duties means the main duties. The important duties of citizens are to do what? What should citizens do? A, show respect for others and follow laws. So our key duties are to show respect for others and to follow the laws. Is that true? Absolutely, that's true. That is the correct answer. How about B? Act freely and show respect for others. Our duty is to act freely? It's not our duty, that's our right. So that would be incorrect. Let's look at C for practice. Key duties are to choose their leaders and express their ideas. Is express your idea a duty? It's not a duty, it's a right, right? So that's incorrect. A, of course, is the only correct answer. The key duties are to show respect for other people and to follow laws. Okay, let's move on to our chart here. We're covering rights and responsibilities. We saw this before. So let's look at some examples of what are some examples of our rights, okay? First of all, this person's very happy, right? They are acting in a way that they want to. They are doing what they want to. What is that? That is acting freely. They're doing something and they're doing it without restraint, right? They're doing what they want to do. They are acting freely. That's our right. We can do what we want to do. Second, what is this man doing here? He's standing up in a group of people and he is speaking, right? He is telling other people what he is thinking, right? What is he doing? He is expressing his ideas. We have the right to express our ideas. You have the right to express your ideas. Okay, down here we see a U.S. President Barack Obama, and we see the people behind him, right? They are going to vote for him or they are going to choose him as their leader. We have the right to choose our leaders. So that is one of our rights. We have the right to choose who we want to lead us. That is one of our rights. It's also a responsibility. Remember when we talked about responsibilities, part of our responsibility is to choose the leaders who will do what? What will the leaders do? They will make laws. So that's our responsibility in a democratic society. It's partly making laws. We don't make the laws, but we do our part by choosing leaders who make the laws. So that's doing our part, right? So that's part of our responsibility. Remember, choosing leader is not just a right, it's also a responsibility. Another responsibility that's very important that we do every day is to do what? We follow the laws, right? Especially when we think about safety. When is it safe to cross the street? Follow the laws when crossing the street. When you get older, you should follow the laws when you drive a car. It's very important to follow laws to make everybody safe and happy. Finally, down here, what are these two guys doing? They're shaking hands, right? These are Western businessmen. In Asia, of course, people will bow to each other. And there are many ways to do this. What is one of our responsibility? Also, we should always do this to other people, especially people who are older than us, parents, teachers, older people. We should, of course, show respect for others. But you should show respect for everybody. Your friends who you play soccer with, your classmates in the classroom, your parents, your teachers, and older people, and especially people who need your help. Show respect to them. Help them out. Okay? Behave responsibly. Act responsibly. Okay, so we have all these different things. We have different examples of rights. We have different examples of responsibilities. And that's basically what our unit was about. Unit 5, what can citizens do? Citizens have rights and we have responsibilities. So think about that. These are very important ideas to remember and to think about what are your rights as a citizen and what are your responsibilities as a citizen. Even though you're young, you still have both and you enjoy your rights. But remember, follow your responsibilities. Okay, well, we'll see you guys next time, okay? Take care.